think we know that that gospel is not just a story about invitations or getting into the wedding or a party. It's talking about something much deeper. And that thing that is deeper is about the second coming of Christ, or if you like, admittance into God's kingdom. It's interesting, though, in that gospel, that people are not divided between good and bad. They're divided between the wise and the foolish. It's not saying that the wise virgins were good people and the foolish were bad. We don't know that. And in fact, it echoes another parable of Jesus, and that parable is in Matthew 7, about the builders, about the builder who built his house on sand. And he wasn't a cowboy builder, he was building his own house. And Jesus describes him as being foolish. And in contrast to the wise man who built his own house on rock. And it just emphasizes for us that the gospel isn't just about being good or bad. There's more to it than that. There's wisdom and foolishness. And we learn on the basis of that we can't rely on someone else's wisdom or their faith. You know, sometimes we hear people say, don't we, Miriam is the religious one in our family, Father. But we can't rely on Miriam. We have to have our own oil, our own relationship with God. We had a priest here, some of you will remember, a few years ago. I worked with him for 5 years, and his name was Father Noel from the Congo. And he told me one of his marriage stories, which is a little bit hard to believe, but he promises me it was true. And that is of a bride who turned up to a wedding there 7 hours late. In fact, she was so late, and the family was so mad, they married the groom off to her sister instead. I know it's a horrendous story. The thing is, it seems to me that she was getting ready for something, and she clearly was prepared, but it doesn't seem as though it was marrying this man that was the priority in her life. It was looking good. And there are some things in our lives that we cannot keep delaying. We cannot keep putting off to the last moment. It's like getting your insurance only when you've had a crash. Or I won't buy me nappies until the baby's done something. We have to be prepared. And sometimes with life's biggest decisions, what we do is we keep putting things off. With life's big decisions, we can't do. Because if we're not ready, we can miss out on the greatest opportunities in our lives. I know sometimes we have no choice but to wait. If a mum is expecting a baby, we just have to wait. Or for election results, or for a vaccine, there's no choice. But at other times, people do prompt us. We keep putting things off. People say to us, what are you waiting for? Just do it. Maybe it is that we think that that gateway, which is wisdom, is something that is unattainable for us. And that's simply not true. What we learn in tonight's first reading, the good news is that wisdom is looking for you and for me. That's what that first reading says. It's like that two people are more likely to find each other if they're both looking, rather than if one is just looking for the other. Just listen to that first reading again. Wisdom is radiant and unfading, and she's easily discerned by those who love her. and is found by those who seek her. She hastens to make herself known to those who desire her. One who rises early to seek her will have no difficulty, for she'll be found sitting at the gate. To fix one's thoughts on her is perfect understanding, and one who is vigilant on her accounts will soon be free from care. Because she goes about seeking those worthy of her, and she graciously appears to them in their paths and meets them in every thought. So what are we waiting for? This is God waiting for us. Let's go and find him.